This is Tanya. I teach 10th Maths. As you guys know, I have a sister, Tina Lofus. She teach 8th Maths. Alright, now let's jump into the video.
Today we are going to be learning Chapter 14, Statistics, Exercise 14.1, second question. Alright, now let's read the question. Consider the following distribution of daily wages of 50 workers of a factory. So here we have a data. So for daily wages, it is about in rupees. It is from 500 rupees 500 to 520, 520 to 40, 540 and 540 to 560 like and so on. So how many workers are there? So there are 12 workers. For them they will get this much amount wages, and for 14 workers they will get this much amount, and 8 like that it will go on. Okay. So there are 50 workers in a factory. Okay. So now we are supposed to find the mean daily wage. So find the mean of a daily wages of the worker of the factory by using appropriate method. Okay, so we are supposed to use a mean. Okay, so there are a lot of methods, right? Assumed mean, step division. So those stuffs in there we have it, right? So here when you just look at it, no, the numbers are big, isn't it? So I am gonna solve it by FIDI for that formula. Okay, so why? That is the assumed mean, isn't it? Do you guys know assumed mean method? In assumed mean method only we have FIDI, so that like that and all. So you guys might be wondering, how will I get to know for this particular question I have to use assumed mean and step division, so those things and all. So remember guys, whenever you have a big number, large number like this, no, use assumed mean. So here I have 500, it is literally a large number, isn't it? So if we have 5 to 6, no, that is not a large number, isn't it? So we can use rest of the methods. So since we have large number, I am going to be using assumed mean method. Okay, so for that let me just draw a table. Okay guys, so now what I am going to do is, so I just drew the table and I wrote class mark. So what is the meaning of class mark? So I just told you guys the first question. So whenever you have a dash like this, no, like 500 to 520, no, you take it as class mark. Okay, so I just do this as class mark, and this one is a frequency. Okay, so FI means frequency. So I just wrote the question as it is. Okay, so now I am going to solve it by assumed mean method, isn't it? So what is the formula for assumed mean? Okay guys, so here now I am going to write the formula for assumed mean. Okay, so what is the formula for assumed mean, guys? So the formula is x bar is equal to A plus sigma FIDI divided by sigma FI. So this is the formula for assumed mean. Okay. Okay guys, so here this is the formula. Okay, so here we want a DI value, and then yeah, so to find the DI value we want XI value. Why? Because we have the formula for DI as well, isn't it? That is XI minus A, isn't it? So we want the A and we want XI value. How to find the XI? So I'll write XI. How to find the XI? Upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So in these both numbers, which is the upper limit? I mean greatest number. Greatest number is 520, and lower limit, that is smallest number, is 500. Okay guys, so that is the XI formula, isn't it? That is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So 520 plus 500 divided by 2. Okay, so when we just add them, we will get a number and then divided by 2. Okay, so like that we will get 510 and 530. So I know you guys know how to find it, right? You know the formula for XI. That's why I am just writing it as like little bit fast. Okay, so 570 and 590. Okay, alright, so you have to do it by yourself, don't use the calculator. Okay, if you use the calculator in maths, no, you will fail in your exam. Okay, why? Because you have to do it on your own hand. Okay, alright, so now we got the XI value. Since we are applying assumed mean, we want, so here it is FIDI, right? So we want DI value, isn't it? So how to find the DI? So di, it is xi minus a. That is the di formula, isn't it? So we know the xi value now. So what about a? How to find the a, guys? So a means average, isn't it? So how to find it means, so here do you guys see we have few numbers in this xi, isn't it? So in this xi, what is the middle number? So the middle number is 550. Okay, so remember a means we are supposed to take middle of middle number of xi. Okay, so the middle number of xi is a. Okay, so here we have xi, so the middle number is 550, so that is going to be our a, that is average. Okay, so according to di, so di is equal to xi minus a. So here we have xi and we know a as well. So 510 minus 550 is minus 40. Okay, so like that we are supposed to do. Okay, so like that we shall do 530 minus, so xi here it is 530 minus a is 550. So when we just subtract it, no, we will get minus 20, and then next we have 550. So 550 minus average, so average is 550 only. So when we just minus subtract 550 minus 550, we will get 0. Okay, so and then we have 570, isn't it? So here the xi now we took it as 570. So 570 minus a, average is 550. So when we just subtract them now, we will get 20. And 590 minus average, that is a, 590 minus 550 is 40. Okay, so now we finally got the di value. So how did we find di value? Xi minus a. Okay, so we finally found the di value. So now according to this formula, we need fi di, isn't it? So fi di, so we want the value as well. So fi into di. Okay, that is the reason I just found di value, isn't it? Why? Because here according to the formula it is fi into di, isn't it? So since we have fi into di, what does it mean? Fi is frequency, di we have the values here, so we are supposed to multiply them. Here it is into, right? So we are supposed to multiply. Even the signs are important. Okay, so 12 into minus 40 is minus 480, and 14 into minus 20 is minus 280, and 8 into 0, definitely it is a 0, and 6 into 20, it is 120, and 10 into 40 is 400. Okay, so now we are supposed to add them. Okay, why? Because when we apply this formula, no, when we just add it only, we'll get the total, right? Total. So when we just add these numbers, we'll get 240. So we'll get minus 240. Even the minus is important. Okay, so we got the total of fi di. So here now what is the fi di value? It is minus 240. Okay, divided by sigma fi. Okay, so here fi is here. When we just add it, no, we'll get 50. Okay, so there are 50 workers according to the question. That is the meaning of it. Okay, so now we know the a value, that is average, that is 550, and then we know fi di value, that is minus 240, and we know fi value, that is 50. So now we can apply the formula. So already I applied the formula. Now I will substitute the values. So x bar is equal to, so average is 550, and then plus, so sigma, here it is sigma fi di, isn't it? So when we just did total, we got minus 240, isn't it? And then divided by, we have fi. So here what is the fi value? So the fi value is 50. Okay, so now just solve the you can just solve the signs. Okay, after solving the sign, no, we'll get x bar is equal to 550 as it is. So when we just when we just do plus into minus, we'll get minus 240 divided by 50, isn't it? So just divide it. So minus 240 divided by 50, we'll get it as minus 4.8. Okay, all right. So what is the x bar value? So the x bar value is 145.20. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, so what is the meaning of this number? So we got 145.20. So according to the question, we want to find the mean, right? So consider the following distribution of a daily wages of 50 workers of a factory. So for 50 workers, no, the wages it is 145.20. Okay, so this is the answer.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like this video, share it to your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any doubt, comment it in the comment section. Catch you in the next video. Bye.